Yo, what is up, fellow Vault Hunters? Robert here again with another Borderlands 3 video, this time focusing on the specific phases that Wotan the Invincible has. I'm going to try to explain each and every phase that should make people that approach the fight for the very first time and want to farm Wotan a little bit easier. There's a few videos on YouTube that explain it already pretty well, but the YouTubers that uploaded this content either had like way too high damage and just threaded through everything way too fast and made it look really easy, or there was like no explanation whatsoever. And props to Gearbox, the signaling and the visuals of the fight are actually pretty well done, and it's straightforward if you look at it, what's happening. The problem though is if you go into the fight the very first time, there's so much things that get thrown at you that you actually don't really have much time to pay attention to each and every phase, because it's very likely that you just die from all the stuff that's being thrown at you. And I know for myself, without doing any research, going into this fight blind, I just died a lot before I could see any of the later phases. And since you have to replay through half of the takedown to get back to Wotan, it's pretty frustrating. So if you experience this as well, don't worry, this fight is meant to be really hard. The content is meant to be played with multiple players, and if you're trying to solo that, it's definitely possible, but it's not as easy. So without further ado, let's pause this, switch over to Borderlands, and I'm going to try my best to explain every phase. So dropping down here, and we get the little intro animation that we just gonna let play out, because why not? It's quite nice to see those title cards and that you know we're dealing with Wotan here. This is on Mayhem 4, but it's not the true takedown mode, so I can actually do some explaining without getting completely destroyed. So there's that. Alright, so first phase is basically as soon as he pops up this shield. So this shield will be... first of all, Wotan has 7 phases, I think, and this is the very first one. He's going to be stationary, and he will start shooting at you, and he has pulsating, so red pulsating stuff around him, which reaches the entire inner shield. This is a repelling pulse, so when you enter it, it will damage you and it will push you back. And basically the idea is, obviously, you want to hit him through the openings in the shield. The shield is completely stationary, so basically you just walk a little bit to the side and then shoot him. Since it's a shield, you want to have a shock weapon. So I'm just gonna shred that down, and bam. He will go into the next phase. So there's going to be a small animation. During that animation, he will be invincible. And as soon as the gray health bar turns back into a yellow health bar, this is where you can continue shooting again. So this is basically now. And just pausing that again. During that phase, he will still be stationary and fire. He might walk around a little bit, and he's going to spawn adds. So he's going to spawn heavies, he's going to spawn normal Maliwan dudes with shields, and maybe badasses. And it's up to you if you want to kill them. Sometimes it's easier to deal with Wotan if there's no adds around. I like to keep them alive for the simple reason that if Wotan downs me and I'm entering fight for life, I want to have these easy targets to deal with to get back up. So I almost always keep them alive. But in this phase, nothing too special. You just want to keep moving, never stop. If you stop, you die. You have to dodge stuff. Keep moving around him and just shoot him with a corrosive weapon to bring down his shield. Just gonna try to... Alright, so then next phase. This is the first little bit more tricky one. So he will activate another shield, but this shield, so the previous shield had multiple openings, 8 to be exact. This shield will only have 1 opening. And to make matters worse, the opening on this side, this entire shield will rotate. The direction in which this shield rotates seems to be random. I haven't figured it out yet how this happens. Sometimes the shield rotates in the left direction, sometimes it rotates in the right direction. I'm very lucky here, since I see the opening right here. I'm just going to go run over and then bring his shield down with my shock weapon. If you don't see the entrance straight away, there's multiple things you can do. There's these pillars. There's one here, there's one behind him, and there is one also behind me. And you can take cover behind the pillars, and you can also step inside. And if you step inside, there's a slipstream that will put you on top of it, and then you can shoot down. So you can also see that the shield on top, there's a massive opening, and if you get yourself up top onto this platform, you will have an easy time to shoot down. But since I'm actually very close to that entrance, I will just shoot this here. Well, joke's on me, I actually missed it. All right. Oh, wow, I'm almost dead. Now, there will be another armor phase. But to make it more complicated, Wotan will start to jump around. As soon as the shield breaks, he will jump from platform to platform. Which means if you are on top of the platform, as soon as you bring his shield down, you need to get off the platforms. Because if he jumps on top of you, you will die. And now I have to make sure that I don't die. Do I have something that I can shoot to leech? Yeah, Wotan. Oh yeah, and he will spawn death spheres now. So on top of the normal enemies, he will also spawn death spheres, which make things a little bit worse. Okay, now this phase. As soon as you bring down his health to 50%, he is going to spawn 2 shields. He will spawn an outer bubble shield and an inner shield, which is the same one from before. So the inner shield will have one opening, but the outer shield goes all the way around. So you will not be able to penetrate his outer shield. So if you jump onto one of the platforms, there's nothing you can do. The shield completely surrounds him, which means you have to run inside the outer shield, find the opening, which in my case is now on the opposite side, and I'm not quite sure in which direction it rotates. It's going to be funny to find out. And then you basically have to be within this and then shoot through his inner shield opening to bring it down. He will also spawn badass commandos, but it takes a while. And these badass commandos, as well as Wotan himself, they will deal tons of damage to you if you don't find the opening and shred his shield quick enough. So it might actually be that I go down here if I'm not careful. There's the opening. There's the commandos. Ah, I missed it. Oh no. Ah, okay. Okay, done. So if the outer shield breaks, his inner shield will completely close up. So as you saw previously, the inner shield had one opening that you could shoot through. As soon as the outer shield breaks, the inner shield completely closes. So now the only option to damaging him is to get onto one of the platforms. So I'm going to try that now if he doesn't kill me. Also, he will spawn krakens. Those krakens are a really, really great source of loot. And also because of Amara, I accidentally phased him. So usually it's impossible to hit him through the inner shield. But what happened here is I shot one of the krakens, and the kraken ricocheted my bullets somehow into Wotan. This wasn't supposed to happen. That's a bit unfortunate. So usually what I should have done now is basically jump up one of these platforms. Through the platforms I can shoot through his almost completely enclosed inner shield and then trigger the next phase. The next phase being he splits in 2 parts. So here you can see there's this upper part and this lower part will start jumping around again. So here you see the lower part, and there you can also see the brain. The brain is completely invulnerable as long as the upper part is still alive. So basically don't worry about shooting the brain. You can shoot the lower half, this will be vulnerable, but my recommendation is to shoot the upper half first, because this one deals a lot of damage, and if you don't pay attention, then this guy can basically creep up from behind you and then kill you. So I'm gonna try and focus the upper half down first. Hope that he doesn't kill me before that. Alright, nice. And now I'm gonna focus on this guy. And that should be fairly easy if you have some damage. Obviously you don't want to get hit by these balls. He doesn't spawn ads anymore in this phase, so if you go down then it's kind of tough luck. But I should get him here unless... yeah, there we go. And finally, as soon as you pop the lower half and you have the takedown confirmed, the brain will pop out and then the brain will try to run away. It doesn't do anything, so look out for this and then shoot it because there's more legendaries in there. And that's basically it. But I'm gonna switch back to the YouTube video I showed earlier to show you this one phase that, that unfortunately happened a little bit too fast. My bad. So here again we have as soon as he gets half health, he's gonna spawn both shields. So you see the inner shield here and the outer shield here. I'm already standing between the two. And then I'm basically looking for the opening. The opening is right there. I shoot through the opening to get his shield down. Then he closes his inner shield as soon as the outer shield breaks, and then I'm trying to get up there to that tower, and then you can shoot from the tower. It's very, very short because the damage is kind of high of that hyper focus. There, you can shoot through the opening and then bring him to the next phase. So that's the thing that was maybe hard to see in the video here. But hopefully was a little bit visible from the YouTube video. So that's all the 7 phases. As for weapons, basically you want to have a good shock weapon and you want to have a good corrosive weapon. A weapon that ricochets, that really does help, especially if you are on a Mara and you have the indiscriminate skill. This makes things a lot easier. Also using ties that bind. If Wotan spawns adds and you can tie multiple adds together and you have a weapon that ricochets, then all the bullets will basically zigzag back and forth, and that will deal a ton of damage to Wotan himself and will make it a lot easier to bring his health down. So I hope this is helpful for anyone who has trouble with that fight. It is a very fun fight. It's very fun to practice. Maybe don't do it in true takedown mode on Mayhem 4 the first time you go in. Just practice it on lower levels. Maybe even take the Mayhem levels down and see that you get the movement patterns in, and you know what you're up against, and then gradually work your way all the way up to Mayhem 4 true takedown mode, in where you get just tons more legendaries, especially if you manage to take out the Krakens. The Krakens, they are the same from the very first Kraken fight, and if you manage to down them and kill the legs, they will have additional legendaries waiting for you. Unfortunately, none of the Kraken legendaries, I believe, can be Wotan drops, so they can't be a redistributor, for example, or a what's it called? The Amara class mod. I'm completely blanking right now. The one that everybody uses, but I still haven't found the one yet. You know which one I mean. Spiritual driver, that's the one. So you can't get that from the Kraken. I think you can only get that from Wotan. But yeah, again, hope you enjoyed that. Hope it helped you. And I see you guys next time. Bye-bye.